Hello students, this is Adarsh and let's study about microorganisms, that is the second chapter of your biology. Now, introduction. Now, microorganisms are present all around us, but they are too small to be seen with naked eye. They are present everywhere in the atmosphere like air, water and soil. Microorganisms are very small organisms which cannot be seen with the unaided eye. It means you need microscope for seeing microorganisms. They can be only seen with a microscope. Microorganisms may be unicellular or multicellular. Microorganisms may exist alone or in colonies. For example, you might have observed that during rainy seasons, moist bread gets spoiled and its surface gets covered with greenish white patches. Now, next is types of microorganisms. There are four main types of microorganisms. They are bacteria, fungi, algae, and protozoans. For example, bacteria. The first one is bacteria and the examples are Lactobacillus and E. coli. Second one is algae and the examples are Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra. Next type of microorganisms is fungi. Example is bread mold, Penicillium, Aspergillus and etc. And the last type of microorganism is protozoan and the examples are amoeba, paramecium and etc. Now let's study a little bit about viruses. Viruses are also considered as microorganisms, but they are different from other microorganisms because they reproduce only in the body of host organisms like bacteria, plants or animals. Common ailments like cold, influenza and most cough are caused by viruses. Serious diseases like polio, chickenpox are also caused by viruses. So these are the pictures of different types of microorganisms: bacteria, algae, protozoa and fungi. And here is the structure of virus. So the above part is known as head, the top part is known as head, capsule, then the middle part is known as tail and the last part is known as end plate. Now, microorganisms play an important role in our lives. Some of them are beneficial in many ways, whereas some others are harmful and cause diseases. Microorganisms are used for making curd from milk, for making cheese, pickles, bread, cakes, pastries, alcohol, wine, vinegar, acetic acid, etc. Now, first, making curd from milk. The bacterium called Lactobacillus reproduces in milk and helps to convert milk into curd. Next is making bread. The fungus called yeast reproduces in flour, dough and produces carbon dioxide during respiration, which makes the dough fluffy, soft and helps in making bread, cakes, biscuits, pastries and etc. Now next comes the commercial use of microorganisms. Now microorganisms are used for the large scale production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid, that is vinegar. Yeast is used for commercial production of alcohol and wine. For this purpose, yeast is grown on natural sugars present in grains like barley, wheat, rice, and crushed fruit juices, etc. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. Sir Louis Pasteur discovered fermentation in 1857. Now next comes the medical use of microorganisms. Whenever you fall ill, the doctor may give you some antibiotic tablets, capsules or injections such as penicillin. The source of these medicines are microorganisms. Such medicines are called as antibiotics. These days, a number of antibiotics are being produced from bacteria and fungi. Streptomycin, tetracycline, and erythromycin are some of the commonly used antibiotics. These medicines kills or stop the growth of the disease-causing microorganisms. Next comes precautions while administering antibiotics. Now, it is important to remember that antibiotics should be taken only on the advice of a qualified doctor. Also, you must finish the course prescribed by the doctor. If you take antibiotics when not needed or in wrong doses, it may make the drug less effective when you might need it in future. Also, antibiotics taken unnecessarily may kill the beneficial bacteria in the body. Antibiotics, however, are not effective against cold and flu, as these are caused by viruses. And one of the best example is the disease COVID-19, because it is caused by coronavirus. Next come penicillin, the topic penicillin. Now, in 1929, Alexander Fleming was working on a culture of disease causing bacteria. Suddenly, he found the spores of a little green mole in one of his culture plate. He observed that the presence of mold prevented the growth of bacteria. In fact, it also killed many of these bacteria. From this, the mold penicillin was prepared. Now, what is vaccine? When a disease-carrying microorganism enters our body, the body produces antibodies to fight the invader. The body also remembers how to fight the microorganisms if it enters again in the coming future. So, if dead or weakened microorganisms are introduced in a healthy body, the body fights and kills them by producing suitable antibodies. The antibodies remain in the body and we are protected from the disease causing microorganism. This is how a vaccine works. Several diseases including cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox, hepatitis may be prevented by vaccination. Children are given injections to protect themselves against several diseases. Necessary vaccines are available in hospitals. Vaccinations are given to children for protection against polio under Pulse Polio program. Polio drops given to children are actually a vaccine. This is called oral vaccination. These days, vaccines are made on a large scale for microorganisms to protect humans and other animals from several diseases. It means vaccines are produced or made from microorganisms only. Now, next comes increasing soil fertility. Some bacteria and BGA, that is blue-green algae, are able to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere to enrich soil with nitrogen and increase its fertility. Because the nitrogen that is present in the air cannot be used by the plants directly, so they needs to be fixed. So these microbes are commonly called as biological nitrogen fixers. Next comes cleaning the environment. Now you often see large amount of dead organic matter in the form of decaying plants and animals. Sometimes dead animals on the ground. You find that they disappear after some time. This is because the microorganisms decompose dead organic wastes of plants and animals, converting them into simple substances or simpler substances, and this process is known as decomposition. These substances are again used by other plants and animals. Thus, microorganisms can be used to degrade the harmful and smelly substances and thereby clean up the environment. Now, harmful microorganisms. Microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings, plants, and animals. Such disease-causing microorganisms are called pathogens. Pathogens enter our body through air we breathe, the water we drink, or the food we eat. They can also get transmitted by direct contact with an infected person or carrier through an animal. Microbial diseases that can spread from an infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food, or physical contact are called communicable diseases. Examples of such diseases include cholera, common cold, chickenpox, and tuberculosis. When a person suffering from common cold sneezes, fine droplets of moisture carrying thousands of viruses are spread in the air. The virus may enter the body of a healthy person while breathing. There are some insects and animals which act as a carrier of disease-causing microorganisms. Example, housefly is one such carrier. The flies sit on the garbage and animal excreta. Pathogens stick to their bodies. When these flies sit on uncovered food, they may transfer the pathogens. Whoever eats the contaminated food is then likely to get sick. Next is mosquito. Mosquito is another carrier. Examples of carrier are the female Anopheles mosquito, which carries the parasite of malaria. Female Aedes mosquito acts as carrier of dengue virus. All mosquitoes breed in water, hence one should not let water collect anywhere, in coolers, tires, flower pot, etc. By keeping the surroundings clean and dry, we can prevent mosquitoes from breeding. Here are some common human diseases caused by microorganisms. The first disease is tuberculosis. It is caused by bacteria and the mode of transmission is air. And here are the measures that are taken in this disease. Next is measles, that is caused by virus and it is spread through air or direct contact. Next is chickenpox. The microorganism or the causative agent is air and water. Next is polio, and the next is cholera. Causative microorganism is bacteria, and it can be spread through water and food. Next is typhoid. The causative agent or the causative microorganism is bacteria, and the mode of transmission is water. Next is hepatitis B. Causative microorganism is virus, and the mode of transmission is water. Next is malaria. The causative microorganism is a protozoa, and the mode of transmission is mosquito. And these are the preventive measures that are taken in these following diseases. Now, disease causing microorganisms in animals. Several microorganisms not only cause disease in humans and plants but also in other animals. For example, anthrax is a dangerous human and cattle disease caused by a bacterium. Foot and mouth disease of cattle is caused by a virus. Robert Koch discovered the bacterium Bacillus anthracis, which causes anthrax disease. Now, disease causing microorganisms in plants. Several microorganisms cause disease in plants like wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple, and others. The diseases reduce the yield of crops. They can be controlled by the use of certain chemicals which kill the microorganisms. So here are some common diseases caused by microorganisms in plants. So the name of the first disease is citrus canker. It is caused by bacteria, and the mode of transmission is air. Next is rust of wheat. It is the name of the disease. It is caused by a fungi, and the mode of transmission is air and seed. And next is yellow vein mosaic of bhindi, that is okra. It is caused by a virus, and the mode of transmission is insect. So these are the pictures of the following diseases that you can see. Now next comes the important topic, food prevention. Food is spoiled by microorganisms. Spoiled food has bad smell and bad taste and causes food poisoning. Food can be preserved by protecting it from microorganisms. Food can be preserved by different methods. They are: first is chemical method. In this, food like pickles can be prevented by using chemicals like salts and edible oil. Jams and squashes can be prevented by using sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite. These chemicals are called as preservatives. Second is by using common salt. Food items like fish, meat, amla, raw mangoes, etc. can be preserved by using common salt. It prevents the growth of microorganisms. Next is by using sugar. Food items like jams, jellies, squashes, etc. can be preserved by using sugar solution, as it prevents the growth of microorganism. Next is by using oil and vinegar. Food items like pickles, vegetables, fish, meat, etc. are preserved by using oil and vinegar. It prevents the growth of microorganisms. Next is by heat and cold treatment. Heating food items kills microorganisms. Similarly, storing food items at low temperature also prevents the growth of microorganisms. Now the next step is, or the next process is pasteurization. The process of heating milk to about 70 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly chilling it to prevent the growth of microorganisms is called as pasteurization. The process was discovered by Louis Pasteur, and on his name, the name of the process is given pasteurization. And the last is by storing and packing, or by storage and packing. Many food items are stored in airtight containers to protect them from the action of microorganisms. So, thank you for watching.